think there is only one quality worse than hardness of heart, and that is softness of head.
That's President Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States and one of the most colorful voices of America.
Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Before Theodore Roosevelt was president, he was a member of the first United States Volunteer Academy, known forever as the Rough Riders. Indeed, they were.
A determined conservationist and a true patriot, Roosevelt became president at the start of a brand new century, young nation called the United States of America.
Do what you can with what you have, where you are.
By the time that America was only 100 years old, it had already made its mark on being one of the greatest nations in the history of civilization.
We only had 8,000 cars and 10 miles of paved roads.
President, the average worker made $12.98 a week. President Roosevelt said.
The government is us. We are the government, you and I.
Then he said,
far and away, the best prize life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing.
And finally he said,
I am only an average man, but by George, I work harder at it than the average man.
That was the character of 1901 America.
As the world turned into a new century, America was turning into a place where everybody wanted to be.
Patriotism reached new highs in 1904. The place to be was St. Louis, Missouri for the Louisiana Purchase Exposition, commonly known as the World's Fair.
of the 11th hour of the 11th month of the 11th of the year.
Extra, read all about it. The wars to end all wars is over.
The country and the world were emerging from a rough era of war epidemic. There was even a talk of revenge against the countries that have seemed to have caused the conflict.
President Woodrow Wilson said this: "Peace has to be peace of reconciliation, a peace where a victor's victory would leave a stain, a resentment, a bitter memory upon which terms of peace would rest, not permanently but only as a consequence." The League of Nations was born. President Woodrow Wilson said this about America: "America is not anything if it consists of each of us. It is only something if it consists of all of us."
All together, America was ready to celebrate and have some fun. So the 1920s came in with a roar and that dance that's called the cat's meow.
Extra, extra, read all about it. October 29, 1929, Black Tuesday, Wall Street crashes, Great Depression begins.
For the next 12 years, America and the rest of the Western industrialized world suffered what has come to be known as the Great Depression. The Dust Bowl, bank closures, a collapse in the agriculture, and other problems plagued the nation, and times were hard.
America bent, but it did not break. President Franklin Roosevelt said,
I pledge myself to a new deal for the American people.
Not everybody loves President Roosevelt's New Deal, but there's definitely a new feeling in the 1930s.
America rolled up its sleeves and got to work, finding happiness and satisfaction in the joy of upbeat song and dance.
It's a deal! It's a deal! It's a brand new deal! It's a deal! It's a deal! It's a brand new deal! It's a new deal! Can you feel the bump? It's a new deal! Everybody jump! Everyone's doing it, things looking up, got a dollar in my pocket, 2 big my cup. It's a new deal! It's a new deal! Can you feel the beat? It's a new deal. Can you take the heat? Everyone's doing it, things are looking up. Got a dollar in my pocket, 2 bits in my mouth. It's a new deal. It's a new deal. Jump, jump, jump. Everybody jump, jump, jump. Everybody jump, jump, jump. Everybody jump, jump, jump. Everybody jump. Do the new deal jump. New deal. Can you feel the bump? It's a new deal. Everybody jump. Everybody's doing it. Things are looking up. Got a dollar in my pocket, 2 bits in my cup. It's a new deal. It's a new deal.
World War I was supposed to be the war to end all wars, but that was not the case.
In the 1940s, World War II broke out and the American soldiers were back on the battlefield of Europe and Asia.
Young women worked at factories as nurses at home to support the war on the war front.
Young men were signing up in droves and being shipped all around the world as defenders for freedom and liberty.
Once again, families and friends were separated, and the loneliness of war took a toll on all Americans. Yet, it was a promise of being back together with family and friends that helped boyfriends and girlfriends, brothers and sisters, moms and dads, and all fellow Americans who survived the pain and separation and believe in brighter days ahead.
Dear Mom and Pop, it has almost been 11 months since I last saw you, but I look at your picture many times, day and night, and read your letters over and over. This 1 year rages on, as it does, in Asia, and it seems like in every other part of the world.
I cannot tell you where I am, but it is cold and wet and lonely as can be. I can't wait until this war is over and I can come home. No need to worry, Mom and Pop. I'll be home real soon.
The days are lonely, the nights are long. As I sit writing my sad, sad song, I promise you as I gaze at the moon that I'll be home. I'll be home real soon.
So far from home, I'm so sad and blue. I only smile when I think of you. When we're apart, my song is out of tune. That I'll be home real soon. I see my friends and family in every cloud. I say their names out loud. Though we're apart, they're in my heart. I can't wait to come home. The days are lonely, the nights are long. As I sit writing my sad, sad song, I promise you as I gaze at the moon that I'll be home real soon. I'll be home real soon. I'll be home real soon. I'll be home real soon.
At last, the long war was over in Europe and in Asia. The men
And woman.
were coming home.
Ironically, the war is actually a boost to the American economy, and hope for happier and brighter days ahead made America a happy and happening place to be.
Hello, baby. Welcome to 1959. Things are looking up, boys and girls. World War II is over. The economy is pumping along. America is feeling good. So get your poodle skirts on, slick back your hair, get your daddy's T-bird, because America's on rock and roll.
Everybody rock. Everybody roll. Things are looking up. We're gonna rock and roll. Everybody twist. Twist and can't be missed. Put me on your list. We're gonna rock and roll.
That's Eleanor Roosevelt, the First Lady of the United States, from 1933 to 1945.
Even after her years in the White House, Miss Roosevelt continued to be one of the most influential women in American history.
She was a champion for the civil rights, the unity of the United Nations, and of course, women's rights.
A woman is like a tea bag. You can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
In World War II, Hero John Kennedy became president of the United States. He challenged Americans to set lofty goals off for the future.
As we said so, we ask God's blessing on the most hazardous and dangerous and invaders adventure on which man has been involved.
Very lofty.
We choose to go to the moon.
See what I mean?
We choose to go to the moon to do these other things, not because they're easy, but because they're hard.
Our best ideas are always the ones we work together as a nation to bring to life.
A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but idealism.
That's the spirit of America in the 1950s and 60s, and the idea of a young, bright nation burning ever brighter.
In a very real sense, it will not be one man going to the moon. It will be the entire nation, for all of us must work together.
The common dream of a great nation was being passed from one generation to the next.
Let the word go forth to distance, time, and place, to friend the far away. Let the torches run past to a new generation of America.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
That's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speaking of the hope of the American dreams.
I have a dream that my children will one day live in a nation that they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
The 1960s and 70s were important growing up years in this great country called America. In some ways, they were difficult years indeed.
But for those that believe in the beauty of the dream, we also believe that after each struggle, America comes out better on the other side.
It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness.
That's the dream of all America's true voices.
you heard of the Woodstock?
Oh dear, honey, I believe that man's a hippie.
I think it was a war zone with long hair.
Be careful, dear. We don't know what they've been into.
It is so true. In the 1960s and 70s, there were a lot of Americans disillusioned by yet another war and what seems to be an impossible generation gap.
Many were tired of wars overseas and cultural wars at home.
America is ready for a period of peace, love, and brotherhood.
Right on.
Peace, love, and brotherhood, walking hand in hand. Peace, love, and sisterhood across this great big land. All we are asking for is love. All we are seeking is peace. All we are asking for is happiness. For war and strife will cease. Peace, love, and brotherhood, walking hand in hand. Peace, love, and sisterhood across this great big land. We can build a world full of love. We can build a world full of peace. We can build a world full of happiness, where war and strife will cease. Peace, love, and brotherhood, walking hand in hand. Peace, love, and sisterhood across this great big land. This great big land. This great big
Listen, American voices. Eleanor Roosevelt said,
You gain strength, courage, and confidence in every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face.
Woodrow Wilson said,
America lives in the heart of every man who wishes to find a region where he will be free to work out his destiny as he chooses.
Theodore Roosevelt said,
This country will not be a good place to live in unless we make it a good place for all of us to live in.
As he said, stepped onto the moon of his new album said,
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And America indeed did take giant steps forward.
Today there is a new set of voices in this great land called America.
We stand before you now are the new American voices.
As we grow and learn from those who have gone before us, we add our own voices that make up the beauty of the American song.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
I pledge allegiance